Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. It's Rad from Radko, and in this whole video we're going to look into Leo Sun, Leo Moon, and as well Leo Rising weekly general tarot reading July 26th up until August 1st, 2021. And this video is brought to you by the Elemental Dignities Technique. So if you are interested into it, you can give me an inquiry into my Facebook page or simply send me an email. And also, if you do wish to support me and not miss any of our weekly uploads and also our live streams, make sure you do subscribe for the channel and also hit the notification bell. And lastly, if you're interested in a personal reading with me, you can go for one at my Facebook page. I was about to say my website, which you are going to find into the description down below as well. So with that being set aside, moving to the Leo reading of the week here, the very first card you do have, that is going to be the Queen of Wands, followed by the second card of the week, which is the Moon card, or it is about the Moon. Yeah, it's the Moon card. Then the third card of your spread, or the third prime card of your spread, that is going to be the Eight of Pentacles. And the last card, a prime card, there are going to be 4 more cards for you, that is going to be the Knight of Swords. So we do have 2 people involved with you into this week. And in between them, there is going to be a lot of work that you are going to place into. There is going to be something quite substantial happening, either career-wise or either relationship-wise, if you will. It could be both cases, okay? That you are going to really put your attention into in between the introduction of these 2 people. That's we are going to check just in a minute, you know, how they are going to interact with you and what is going to be their purpose in your life. But suffice to say here, like I said, there is going to be a very substantial endeavor that you're going to take on, which is going to set you on a direction. It's going to set you on the right path, so to speak. And starting up the reading here, to scrutinize the reading with the very first card, which is the very first individual that you're going to interact with, that is going to be the Queen of Wands, and it is, oh my God, and it is catalyzed by the King of Wands. So we do have these 2, and just they are forming a active supporters, and that is a very, and I mean extremely ambitious individual who knows you very, very well, Leo, and they do understand who you are. What I mean is that they do understand where your strengths and where your weaknesses. Now, this individual here, they do enjoy life to its fullness, okay? They like drinking, they like going bars, they like going discos, they like entertaining themselves, okay? So that is how you're going to recognize that individual. Additionally to it, as I said, they are very ambitious, and at that point their ambition somehow is related to you, and they do have a plan. They are ready to transform that ambition into a very, very powerful drive. And I think it's about business, because the Queen of Wands type of an individual, they do have the will to prevail, and they do have very astute, very I would say accurate, almost a scary accurate business sense. They just know where the wind is blowing from. And I don't believe that they are enemies to you, at least at that point. And they can situate you on the right place. What I mean is that as they know where your strengths and weaknesses are, they are going to bestow a role for you that is going to be the role you are just fit for. And right after the introduction of this person, we have the Moon card, which is going to be catalyzed by the 9 of Cups. We do have a passive, 6 of Cups, I'm sorry. So we do have a passive supporters. Just excuse me for it. So we do have a passive supporters here. And with these 2 cards, I do believe that we are talking about, well, it could be also career, but it more leans toward the love, because there is going to be a lot of emotions involved into that stage of the week. And the problem with those emotions is that it's going to be way too good to be true, whatever you are dealing with at that point. Okay, just way too good to be true. And for that, there is going to be a fear that is going to start dwelling in you, not to lose it moving forward into the future. Like I said, it could go both ways, and it branches a little bit in terms of career and in terms of relationship, and it speaks about a very pleasant and creative experience when it comes to career, and it speaks about a emotional and physical flow when it comes to relationship. It is just the person that you are gonna end up with, should that be a relationship for you, Leo. It's just you're gonna fall for each other physically and emotionally right there on the start. It just is going to be like a love from a first sight, and that's why it will seem way too good to be true, not knowing what circumstances are awaiting you into the future, being afraid to lose. That's what you have gained for just a moment. Okay, whichever the case, these fears are going to be created by your fantasy. Okay, and it is very important not to allow those fears to eat, say, your soul, because that's what fear does. It eats your soul. And just keep up with what happened. All right, just don't abandon this part, because like I said, that is going to be something very substantial for you, and whatever the case, you are meant to experience it one way or another. You withdraw from it, that same thing is going to happen to you, maybe through different circumstances, but same thing is going to happen to you going down the road into the future. So better sooner than later. And right after this marvel straight away happened to you, Eight of Pentacles takes place, and it is catalyzed here by the Eight of Cups. So we do have these two cards, and they are referring to the future. These two cards are referring to the plans you're going to start forging for the future, and there is a little bit of a how can I say, a bitter taste that you're going to have at that stage of the week, which is towards the end of the week, realizing that things cannot be as perfect as you may want them to be, but still the perspective of the future is far better than the perspective of the past. And as you do forge those plans, you're going to have that keen eye for the subtleties out there, you know, attending to every single minor detail of those plans, addressing it with a huge portion of conscientiousness. Then the plan is going to be ready very, very soon, being ready to be executed and to be initiated. Now, these two passive friends are speaking that no matter what happened to you in the past, and I just don't mean recent past, maybe also distant past, that placed a bitter taste in your mouth, that simply made you feel bad, it will be no longer relevant, because through these cards you are going to see the future in a much brighter light, in a much brighter perspective. And it is not just only going to be the vision, but as well you're going to put the work behind it in order to ensure that that future is going to take place. And finally, what we have it is the Knight of Swords. That is the second individual that appears to you towards the end of the week, and it is catalyzed by the High Priestess. We do have active neutrals, and it's a little bit of an awkward introduction. It's a little bit of an awkward meeting. Now, this person, they do have a very sharp mind, very strong intellectual capabilities, and they are somewhat a truth seeker. Okay, they kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, very tenacious, and they are very honest, open, and sincere. Now, the thing about the Knights of Swords, this is the only court of sword that does take under account their emotions, and whenever they are to make a choice, they simply consult their logic with their emotions. Now, the problem with the neutral card here to the High Priestess, it is that their logic will go against your inner voice, or it is not gonna make quite of a sense, at least at that specific time. okay? And therefore that introduction is going to be just for a moment in between you and the Knight of Swords, and there won't be much of a cooperation, at least at that time. Maybe further down the road into the future, or maybe the sole purpose of this person coming about is to make you see something, is to make you realize something as well through their intellectual capability, or to make you realize that logic and emotions has to go together as well. But with the High Priestess there being neutral to the Knight of Swords, I don't see this person being a big, how can I say, a big influence for you for a long run. That is, they just come about and walk away, you know, and they just serve their purpose in an instant, in a moment, and after that you both can forget for each other. But again, the purpose that they're going to serve is important. Like I said, one of the two, either they're going to make you learn how to synergize your emotions and your thoughts, or they are going to divulge some kind of a truth, for they are a truth seekers. So with that being said, Leo, that was your weekly general tarot reading, guys, July 26th up until August 1st, 2021. Hopefully you do enjoy it and you do like it, and we are to see each other next time. Until then, bye.